What's good, people? It's about that time to randomly relate reverse rants. No hate. What do y'all know about Born Invincible? Huh? What do y'all know about Kid with the Golden Arms? What do y'all know about Crippled Avengers? Yeah, Mystery of Chess Boxing. What do y'all know about? That's what I'm watching right now, man. I'm having my Kung Fu flashback, but I do this often. All right, anyways, y'all. Hope everybody's having a beautiful Saturday. Let me address something I saw. I think it was this morning. Yeah, this morning. Early this morning. So basically, I saw, and this is not the first time that this was said. We saw Deontay Wilder last night on his comeback trail, right? Deontay Wilder has said that on his comeback trail, he wants to fight for the world championship again. He says he wants to fight Usyk. I'm telling you guys, plain and simple, he needed to secure a win. Who knows? Maybe somebody behind the scenes told him, hey, man, if you can just get a win, I'll work something out. Okay? Let's just say, I don't know. But he basically needed a win. That wasn't an impressive win last night. By no stretch of the mind. Okay? And it shouldn't have took him 7 rounds to get that. That guy's a straight bum. He should have got him out in 1. But Deontay Wilder has always played the victim. He's always indulging in self-pity. And he says things that is simply not true. Like, we're here. We hear the stories. We hear the words that come out of your mouth. I debunked Deontay Wilder with his own words. Deontay Wilder says Usyk showed interest in fighting him at one time. Now let's look at Usyk. He fought AJ twice and beat him. He beat Derek Chisora. Okay, he beat Fury twice. He beat Daniel Dubois and is about to fight him again. Usyk has absolutely nothing to gain right now by beating Deontay Wilder. This would be like just an unnecessary, like, voluntary charity fight. Like, what's the purpose of this? Deontay's done nothing to earn a title fight. So, for him to even say that, he loves to tell somebody they're not a man of their word, or tell them, I hope you keep your word. When you were in a certain position where even when you lost to Fury and people had you had people believing nobody else could beat you other than Fury. Funny thing was, Fury was accused of cheating every time y'all fought. So it's funny to me to even hear Wilder fans even say the only person that can beat him is Fury. This is boxing, man. Shit can happen. But if we look at your performances, we go by anything that you do in the ring. Okay, I don't care about what you say. That doesn't win fights. I watched this guy and I listened to him, and Deontay is truly delusional. I believe he does have mental health issues. I do believe he has a problem controlling his emotions. I think he's far too emotional, and he shows it. That's his fault. Now, he said something that, once again, he's going to spew these lies out. Deontay Wilder said he wants to fight Usyk. He said Usyk has opportunities that he never had because he was dangerous. Okay. All you have to do is go right here on YouTube and pull up old Deontay Wilder videos and hear him say one thing, then say something completely different. Then point the finger at other people and blame it on them. Now, as far as him trying to clean up the trail of mess he led, like trying to get rid of videos like the Harold Sconia fight, and we know why he got rid of that Harold Sconia fight. You can find Deontay Olympic fights. You can find some of his earlier fights, right? When he was fighting in little bingo halls and shit, but you can't find that Harold Sconia fight. We know why. Now, Deontay said the same thing about AJ before. AJ had opportunities that he didn't. And then he said AJ takes all of the easy fights. And when I tell you this guy's delusional, I don't care how you take it. The guy's delusional. And in fact, if you believe him, you're delusional as well. Okay? And if you don't know when you're just going by what he say, well, you don't even matter. None of you matter anyway when you don't stand up for the truth. There's no such thing as Aries truth. Your truth, her truth, his truth. No, the truth is just the truth. If I tell you 9 times 9 is 81, it's not because I'm telling you that. It's because I understand how to do multiplication. I know that it's 81. It was taught to me, and hey, this is what the answer is. And everybody who knows the answer to that will not debate that. There's no such thing as our truths. Okay? It's just the truth. Deontay Wilder told the fans, it's only a matter of time before me and AJ fight. I mean, it has to happen. It has to. It has to. Okay? Then he turns around. Okay, this is on my dead mama. He turns around and says, it's not going to happen. Don't even wait for it. It ain't about if or when. It's not going to happen. Don't wait for it. This is Wilder saying this shit. Then he turns around, standing right there next to Shelly Finkel, and they both admitted that they turned down a $120 million deal from the zone. One fight against Dominic Brazil, who he ended up fighting later as a mandatory. Think about it. And 2 fights with AJ. They said, hear me and hear me good, okay? The reason they turned the deal down is because they wouldn't tell them. The people at the zone would not tell Wilder and Finkel how much money AJ was making. And they know this is easily a $300 million fight. They feel that they're just as big of stars as Anthony Joshua is. So they turned it down, $120 million. Now this guy says he didn't have the opportunities that Usyk has made. Bro, Usyk has never made $120 million in 3 fucking fights. Usyk isn't the cash cow. Usyk doesn't make more per fight than Canelo. He's never made more per fight than Anthony Joshua. You were going to get $120 million for 3 fucking fights. 2 against AJ, and 1 against a guy you knocked out and he got the washed up version of Brazil, but still in all, knocked him out in 1 round. But you turned it down because you didn't know how much AJ was going to get. You and Shelly Finkel both co-signed that for each other. So how the fuck are you going to say you didn't get the opportunities? Because you was dangerous. Yeah, you were dangerous to your fucking self. Your ego, and you don't have a mind for business, to understand how things work. That's why your plans are always backfiring on you. And that's why when you talk about investments you made and how you don't need boxing, remember, you were the ones who said all of this. You don't need boxing. You made smart investments. You thought you were Floyd, right? And you said that pretty much you didn't miss boxing. You came back, but you didn't miss it. And how you don't need it. But now all of a sudden, here you are at 40 years old, trying to restart your career. You also put your heads together with the bald one, Tyson Fury, and you two purposely tried to freeze out Anthony Joshua and didn't think that you were going to need AJ because you didn't want to really fight AJ. Fat Boy was on the shelf for a while, some years, right? 3 years or whatever it was. He comes back, have 2 meatball fights, but he had respect on his name. He beat Klitschko. So if I beat him, that means I can beat Klitschko. I don't have to fight Klitschko. He was a cherry pick that went wrong. You were a cherry pick for Fury. But Fury wind up, y'all got to draw out of that first fight. Second fight, he demolished you. Third fight, he demolished you. So what you mean you didn't have the opportunities? You had 3 fucking opportunities with the same guy. You rejected an opportunity with Anthony Joshua. Then you fucking blew it and got beat by Joseph Parker. What the fuck do you mean you don't have opportunities? Man, you have a strong sense of entitlement. And after you got your ass kicked by Parker, you know what you said? You motherfucking said, I'm thinking me and Anthony Joshua still fighting. AJ had to win his fight. You had to win your fight. That was the deal. You sat in the back, getting your hands wrapped, night of the fight, telling a reporter, if Anthony Joshua wins, then yeah, y'all gonna fight. Now you're talking like you're in control of the deal. Then the guy says, well, if he loses, if he loses, ain't no need to fight. But you go on 7-8 Sports and tell 7-8 Sports, I'm thinking we still fighting. And your fans thought the fight should still happen even though you lost. Now, you tell me you don't have opportunities. Joseph Parker is a former world champion. They took a rib cage, okay? They took a rib cage and Joseph Parker for bringing a rib cage to the lion, right? Well, you know what they didn't realize? He was in a ball. You could see his ribs, but guess what? He opened up and he started fighting back. He brought the fight to you. Joseph Parker, fuck Robert Helenius, who was on a 3-fight winning streak. Joseph Parker was on a 3-fight winning streak before he kicked your ass. That's another opportunity. That opportunity would have led you to Anthony Joshua for $50 million. 3 opportunities. First of all, you got the opportunity when you beat Berman Stiverne because Berman wasn't shit. Let's just say it like it was. That's 1. You had 3 opportunities with Tyson Fury. That's 4. You had a 5th opportunity with Joseph Parker. And even though Joseph Parker beat you, Turkey Al-Sheikh was calling you, trying to get you to go to Bridgerweight and fight Lawrence Okoli for a championship. So 5 with fucking Parker, 6 with the Coley. These are opportunities. But you blew them because you lost and you declined. 7 with you turning down fucking Dillian White because you told him, I will freeze you out for 2 years. See, you thought you were on top of the world and that it was all about you. Now let's go over them real quick once again. You fought Berman Stiverne for the world championship. Is that not an opportunity to be champion? Yeah, and then you held the belt hostage for 5 years. So that's 1 with Berman Stiverne. Okay? And basically, you have 2 mandatories. Was a rematch with Berman Stiverne and a fight with, I'm going to just say the damn dude's name, man. Guy that you knocked out in the front. Just said his fucking name. Irrelevant ass guy. But you fought, okay, so bottom line. So what I'm saying is your mandatories is trash. Your mandatories is trash. You got an old washed up version of the guy on top of that. Okay? But 1, let's count them for the WBC world title. And you said out of your mouth, everybody know the only belt that matters is the green belt. Them other belts don't mean nothing. You said that. You had no interest in fighting for those belts. You said that. 1 with Berman. Okay? 3 with Fury. That's 4. You turned down $120 million with Dominic Brazil, that's his name, and 2 fights with AJ. That's 5. All right, we're doing this again. You turned down Dillian White, I'll freeze you out for 2 years. Okay? That's 6. You get a shot at Joseph Parker. You win, you get $50 million. AJ get $50 million. Neither one of y'all are paying for it. Turkey is. With the help of all these other people viewing in. Because whatever y'all get, whatever. However they had the deal set. So that's 7. You get another shot with Zhang for redemption. That's 8. Those are 8 fucking opportunities. You fail at every fucking one of them. And your biggest wins is against fucking Chris Arreola, Berman Stavern, and what's the Cuban guy? Luis Ortiz. Okay? That's your biggest wins. You could have fought Charles Martin way before Anthony Joshua did. According to you, the green belt is the only belt that matters. Everybody knows that. You and Malik Scott disrespected Muhammad Ali, told everybody how you could beat Muhammad Ali. Yeah, you the Jim Jones of the world talking about you better than Nas, right? You sitting up here talking about you're better than Ali. Malik Scott said you're 10 times better than Muhammad Ali. Okay. You're better than Mike Tyson. See, you want to tell everybody how great you are, but you can't show us. Because your level of competition is what you fought last night. Now, I just gave you 8 opportunities he fucking had. That he fucking blew it. By either turning them down and losing the fights. You still ended up fighting motherfucking I keep forgetting this motherfucker's name. That's how irrelevant he is. But bottom line, you still end up fighting that guy instead of AJ. Dominic Brazil. Fuck it. Dominic Brazil. Fuck. You still end up fighting him because he became your mandatory. So they gave you 2 weak-ass mandatories. But somehow you didn't fight Anthony Joshua. Can we do this one more time, people? Because I want to rub it in. You fought for the WBC world title and you won. That's 1. Like I said, you could have fought Charles Martin, but you chose not to. You froze him out. I mean, you skipped over him and said the only belt match was the one you had. So you showed no interest. You blamed Joseph Parker for ducking you and all of these things you said. Then you tried to create some boogeyman and Luis Ortiz to try to make people think that everybody's ducking him. I'm the only one got the heart to fight him. The hell out of here. Luis Ortiz has done nothing. Nothing. Knocked out your fucking former trainer. You knocked out your former trainer. Or at least he pretended you did, whichever one it really was. You make terrible decisions, man. You make terrible decisions. So let's get back to it so I can close. All right, I want y'all to remember this. I don't want y'all to end this video and forget what the fuck I said. I want y'all to remember this. This is a guy that's full of entitlement, full of excuses. Can never be a man and just say, hey, there ain't a better man won. Everything about him has to be me. I'm this, I'm that, I did this, I did that. I. Berman Stavern for the WBC World Championship, you won. Opportunity. 3 fights with Fury. You got a draw and 2 losses. 3 opportunities. And let me add, you had to take the motherfucker to court for the 3rd one. But it was you and him both trying to avoid Anthony Joshua. Both of you were trying to avoid it. Now, is it just ironic that neither one of y'all fought him? Right. But y'all have so much to say when he don't look good. Then y'all don't look good. Then what? Excuses. 4 fucking opportunities. Then you decide you don't want to fight Anthony Joshua. You and Shelly Finkel. Actually, I got a 9th one I'm about to add to it, okay? That should have been the first one I added. But that's 5. No, they ain't going to tell us how much AJ's making, so no fight. Well, didn't you lose out? You told Dillian White, I'll freeze you out twice. Yeah. And the guys from the zone, remember, Dillian sat there and pulled it out, showed them, yep, that's Deontay's number. Yep, that's the text. Okay? 7. 7. You didn't want that opportunity. And let's not forget, the WBC was very dirty when it came to Dillian White. Now, Dillian White had an opportunity to fight AJ. Then he says $7.5 million wasn't enough money. They're not serious. Then the second time he got the opportunity to fight AJ, and then, he popped dirty. Now, that's 7. Joseph Parker was your way back. That was 8. You lost. Okay? 9 was against who? Zhang. He knocked you the fuck out. And Zhang had become a big deal. But you lost. You didn't get your way with fighting a guy like you did last night in Tyrone Herndon. And I'm going to tell you what 9 was. And this is on my dead mama. Everything I said is on my dead mama. When Shelly Finkel stood there, talked into that microphone in front of a camera for the world to see, when it was asked about you who had been in the pros longer than Anthony Joshua, about fighting against Vladimir Klitschko. And you know what Shelly Finkel said? You were standing right there when he said it. Oh, we're not going to put Deontay Wilder in there with the likes of a Vladimir Klitschko. He's still a baby. He's just a baby. You were all of 30 fucking years old. You had won your WBC title and was defending it. But nah, you were just a baby. And then Anthony Joshua comes along and fight the guy you wouldn't fight, and Vladimir Klitschko. Then your hateful, jealous ass said, oh man, Klitschko was old, or Fury already beat him. Okay, but Fury beat you 3 times as far as I'm concerned, but 2 official wins. And he fucks you up. See, and that's where people overlook what opportunities are. You make it sound like Usyk just walked into, now don't get me wrong, they made him mandatory real quick. Yes, that did happen. And we know politics and boxing is dirty. But bro, you had that belt for 5 fucking years, and in 5 years, you only had 2 weak ass mandatories. Fury had no mandatories. Yeah. Fury ended up fighting against Derek Chisora after his boy, Frank Warren, said, yo, this guy, Eddie Hearn, should be ashamed of himself, putting Derek Chisora in fights, and this guy, he's clearly not himself. He's going to get someone killed. Yeah, and then remember, he puts his guy in there against him. And what does he do? Make excuses and say, well, I don't see it being any different if he fights Derek Chisora, because when Derek Chisora fought Usyk, he really won. All I seen Usyk do was run. But then Usyk kicked Fury's ass. He beat him twice. I always said you and Fury have so much in common. You motherfuckers might be related, man. Like, seriously, you guys might somehow secretly be related because you guys are so much alike. I just gave you 9. This is no opinion, bro. 9 fucking opportunities you had. 9. Okay? Y'all made no effort and had no interest in fighting against motherfucking Vladimir Klitschko. Finkel stood there and told us right in front of you. And you always said they work for us, not the other way around. If a fighter want to fight, it'll happen. So you just basically let us know you didn't want the fucking fight. In fact, you was training with David Haye. Talks of you fighting David Haye came up. Where did all of this shit go? Nah, no David Haye fight. You remember the sparring match y'all had and all the things they were saying about how David Haye hurt you and all that and what? But bottom line, no David Haye fight, nothing. You wasn't trying to make those fights. Hell, you fought Old Man Ortiz. You don't mind fighting older guys. I remember Shannon Briggs called you out. And I think Shannon Briggs would have fucked around and knocked you out back then. Yeah, I think that version of Shannon Briggs would have knocked you out. You didn't want to fight nobody. You wanted to just hold the belt, keep knocking out these bums. have an easy career, and you probably had things mapped out in your head, like you pictured things happening a certain way, like a lot of fighters do, then it don't, and your world shattered, and you were never able to put the pieces back together again. But how dare you sit up here and say Usyk had opportunities that you never had? How the fuck did you didn't have the opportunity when you turned the opportunity down to fight AJ for $120 million overall and Dominic Brazil? That was the warm-up. Let's see how AJ, how Wilder does against Brazil. And then, hey, that's more of a build-up to, him and AJ. How you didn't have the opportunity when you turned down a fight with Dillian White? These are high-caliber fights. These are top-level dudes. How? You don't want to fight Jarrell Miller. You don't want to fight Andy Ruiz. That's 10. Another former champion, that's 10. You told a man he's overpricing himself. Do you understand what happens when you beat another top-level dude? And here's the crazy part. You fought one punk ass, Robert Helenius, mandatory. Andy Ruiz fought Chris Arreola. He fought Luis Ortiz. That motherfucker fought 2. He fought 2 mandatories. What does a mandatory mean if the fighter can turn around and say, nah, no fight? This is why, the ideas that Turkey was pitching at us sound really good, because it's like, well, yeah, now you ain't got to worry about where the money's coming from. So if you don't fight, you ducking that smoke clearly. It has nothing to do with the money. It's the competition, the level of competition you don't want. You told Andy Ruiz he was overpricing himself. Another top-level dude. Goddamn, you turned down Andy Ruiz. You said it out of your own mouth. He overpriced himself. You said it on the video. Remember, even had your little nephew jump in front of the camera talking shit. So you rejected the offer to fight AJ. Facts. Everything I said is facts. No opinions. You rejected the fight Dillian White. Facts. And you rejected to fight against... you showed no interest. You had no interest. Your team didn't want you to fight Klitschko, and you didn't want to fight Klitschko. Because like you said, the fighter got the final say-so. That's why the fight never happened, because you didn't want to fight Klitschko. AJ fought that motherfucker. And you turned down Dillian White. Goddamn. So 3 definite rejected fights. 1 you had no interest in. You had no interest in fighting Charles Martin, who had the IBF at the time. What the fuck are you talking about, man? You clearly didn't want to fight Charles Martin. Only belt matters is the green belt. You're blaming everybody for your bullshit, man. This is why men, real men, stand-up men, can't rock with your mentality. You too emotional. You too feminine-like. Always want to play the fucking victim. Everybody's against you. You don't understand this about yourself. There is no fucking way that you can honestly sit here and say you didn't have the opportunities that Usyk had. You was the WBC champion way before Usyk even came to the division. What the fuck are you even talking about? You didn't have the opportunities? You, Mr. Must-See TV? Everybody tell you how exciting boxing is when you there. The sport ain't the same without you, but when you there, who you fight? All you do is fight bums. And every fucking fighter that you stepped up in competition to fight, you lost to. Every fucking time. 1 draw and everything else is a loss. So you didn't have the opportunities? I can tell you don't have people around you that's honest with you. That's the way you like it. Like Mike Tyson said, as long as everybody knew I was the boss. Right. So he can't tell you what's real. Nah, fuck you. Because if I'm going to be a part of something, it's all about accountability. Mark Breland tried to teach you, you wouldn't listen to him. You like to be in control. You like to be in charge. You don't like nobody to question what you say you want to do. They want to give you what you need. All you care about is, I'm going to do what I want to do. And if I don't want to do it, I'm not going to do it. I just gave y'all 10 fucking opportunities this motherfucker had. 10. 10. So for you to sit and tell AJ and say about AJ, yo, and at the end of the day, yo, the promoters work for us. The fighters get the last say so. So if AJ really want this fight, AJ called you out several times. In fact, remember the offers. In fact, and listen, we got to go more than 10. I'm going to tell you why. Because even with the $120 million he turned down, remember, they offered him 7.5. Then they offered him 12. Then they offered him 50. Remember? And he kept turning the money down. So there's 11 look, for each different offer, that's a different opportunity. So he turned down, so that's 13 opportunities that he turned the fuck down. And they tried to make that fake ass bullshit. Remember that fake 50 million? Take it or leave it. You talk about opportunities, and you motherfuckers did some scamming shit. We got 50 million. Take it or leave it. No meeting, no discussion, just take it or leave it. You take it. Nah, you dumb fuck. That's why a lot of you motherfuckers be in court trying to explain why you didn't pay your mortgage because some motherfucker on YouTube told you he's a rich African king from somewhere and he blessed people. He's so wealthy and the Lord told him, to go online and check and you're the one he chose and all I need is your routing number. Yeah, I just need your bank information and I'll send that money to you right away. Right away. God, give it to me. You're about to be blessed with 22 million, all this. Yeah, and y'all motherfuckers fall for these scams. Who the fuck does business like that? Let's put the shoe on the other foot. Eddie Hearn and Anthony Joshua is doing the same shit to them. You don't want to check the escrow account or nothing, huh? Just take the money, just say yes, sign it, bullshit. Nah. And then y'all gonna say AJ didn't want the fight. Nah. That's not how that shit works, man. Nobody does business like that. Now that was no different from Tyson Fury watching Anthony Joshua not look good in his last two fights before his loss to Usyk, and then him telling him after he seen his meltdown and everything that he wanted to fight all of a sudden. But he tells him he had 24 hours. All this just kept. He did the same shit with Usyk after he said he had no interest in fighting Usyk. Usyk is not from his era. Usyk's really a middleweight. All this other shit. Then he turns around and changed the story because he got flack from it. You did the same thing, man. Now, how the fuck you gonna call Fury a con artist and a liar, but you did the same exact thing? Somehow you're not a con artist and a liar. See, this is what I'm talking about. And these are facts. These are things you've done. This isn't some shit I'm imagining or somebody told me. No, you said it. Every fucking thing that I'm telling you, you said and you did. That's 13 fucking opportunities that you had. Somehow you think somebody's supposed to roll out red carpet and throw rose petals at your feet when you walk. And you're supposed to just be giving shit. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. 13 opportunities. And I wanted to take my time with this video because I didn't want to overlook any of that. 13 fucking opportunities. And I could say 14 with Charles Martin simply because now that wasn't the deal y'all ever made. And that's the only reason I'm not adding it. But the fact that you had no ambitions to go after him. You had no ambitions to become undisputed. Like I said, once again, everybody know the only belt that matters is the green belt. It's the only other belt don't mean nothing. And you try to discredit those belts. Why? Because at the time, Anthony Joshua had the other three. You never wanted to fight for those belts because AJ had them. So now at 40 fucking years old, and you've declined from how pathetic you were even at your best, now all of a sudden you care about unification and care about undisputed? Come on, bro. 13 opportunities this motherfucker had. And out of 13, he made good of one. Now, the rematch, you still won that. But bottom line, that was a title defense. But I'm talking opportunities for you. Did you realize in one fucking fight, should you have beaten AJ, which you shouldn't have, because AJ was way better than you, would have knocked you the fuck out. You would have, but if you win, you're undisputed. Instead, your punk ass decides to fight Fury, who had no belts. You chose to fight Fury instead of AJ. And you was a pro longer than AJ. Why did you choose Fury with no belts over AJ, who had the other three? And AJ went out and got every belt one at a time. All you had to do was win, and you got all 4 of the belts in one fight. But you didn't have opportunities because you was dangerous. You're right. You was dangerous to your fucking self. And you still are because you're not a smart guy. You think you are. And I'm not saying you don't know how to tie your shoes, zip up your jacket, put your shades on, but you're not a smart guy, man. Business-wise, the shit you do, and now you talk about how people stole money from you. You talking about how people use you. Every time I turn around, you're cutting the grass to weed out the snakes. It's always God is good. It's always something. Your chick done left you after Jarrell Miller done fucked every kind of way. Probably had the leg all up and shit. But I'm just saying, all of this shit that you say, and it's funny how your world come crumbling down, but people overlook your arrogance, your ego, your ignorance. Come on, bro. You got to do better than that, man. You're a grown-ass man still blaming everybody for your shortcomings. Who told you to turn down AJ? Was it Finkel? Huh? Was your buck dancing for Finkel like you said AJ was buck dancing for Eddie Hearn? You turned these opportunities down. You did. I mean, hell, man. Look at who you fought last night. Why you ain't fight Charles Martin? Why you ain't fight Andy Ruiz? Why won't you fight Jarrell Miller? Why won't you fight AJ? Why you turn that shit down? And I think as far as the AJ fight goes, after Parker whooped your ass, you talk about you thinking we still fighting. It was the $50 million that got you. It wasn't the fight with AJ. It was the $50 million. That was your motherfucking drive. And let's not forget, you was talking about fighting Francis Ngannou way before Fury, way before AJ. AJ didn't even want to fight. This was an Eddie Hearn, 50 million. Okay, fuck it. Yeah, 50 million, let's go. All right, cool. I do it. You wanted that fight. Remember that. You wanted that fight. Then you lied and told everybody you're going to fight him twice. You're going to fight him once in boxing and one in MMA. I mean, you just love to talk, man. You said all of that shit. And then all of a sudden, nah, man, it makes more sense if Fury gets Ngannou. They made a power move and took him. See, you're not a smart guy, man. They took that fight from you. And look at what happened. And then AJ came up, cleaned his clock. And where did that leave you, Mr. I'ma freeze out Anthony Joshua? Then tried to make it a us versus them type of shit. You sided with the white bald guy. Then talked about it's us versus them. You ditch fighting the black guy that you could have made some money with. See, your bullshit caught up with you. And that's why I said, how did this become a us versus them thing? It's just you versus Fury. This ain't got nothing to do with America versus Britain. The fans can be stupid and argue and do all that bullshit. Y'all can keep all that. I just see two motherfuckers go in the ring to fight. That's all I say. Fuck you and Fury. But bottom line, that's how I see it. Then you tried to do everything in your power to play the victim and want people to feel like you didn't lose fair and square. You were cheated. 13 opportunities. You only made good of 1. And all them bum-ass title defenses, all them knockouts don't mean shit because you ain't knock out nobody that was respectable, with the exception of Luis Ortiz was decent. Holes in his game too. Decent though, Best fighter that you ever beaten. And that's about as far as that goes. Chris Arreola was nothing but an underachiever. Berman Stavern, well, we know how he got the belt. And who did he get it against? Chris Arreola. And they fought twice. And that's the highest you went. Who the fuck ever brings up Chris Arreola? Other than people from the same country and they proud the way they flag when he fight. But you still, you understand what I'm saying? You still are playing the victim and trying to make people feel sorry for you. Bottom line, man, what goes around comes around, man. And you talk about being a holy man, and you talk about being filled with hatred and all this other shit and Man, you don't know who you are, what you are. You are someone that's lost in your own thoughts. And you don't understand you're a detriment to yourself. Whoever's training you going forward, well, hate to break the news to you, brother, but it's a little too late for your ass. 40 years old, you don't know the basic fundamentals, and now all of a sudden, because you be the dude ranked 238, we supposed to believe that all of a sudden this is a new you? All right. Well, anyway, next time I see you in the ring, you'll probably be getting knocked the fuck out cold. Unless you go fight somebody, you know, with the same type of ranking as this guy. But that was pretty much disgraceful. That's your speed. That's what you're used to. And what I seen in you last night, you don't deserve any more opportunities. You wore your welcome out. Your ego got the best of you, and now you are where you are. Deal with it, brother. Talk to me in the comment section. Never fall in love with lies. Remember, the truth brings hate out of people, and I will catch y'all on the next video.